I'm going to talk about Jan Morris's Conundrum, and I wanted to talk about the ongoing theme of Morris's sense of confusion about her own state of being and her feelings of being separated from the world around her, along with how she feels as though she belongs nowhere. The title of the book itself is called Conundrum, where the literal definition of the word means a confusing and difficult problem or question, and is noteworthy as she doesn't call it a problem outright. Throughout the whole book, she calls it, at least as far as we know right now, as much as we've read, she calls it a conundrum. And calling her a problem would give it a negative connotation, while giving it the name Conundrum gives her situation a different meaning, in which it's a problem or situation that can be solved or be talked about without giving it that negative connotation. The definition of the word also ties into the overall theme of confusion throughout the book, since the word conundrum itself means a confusing problem, that she is confused. She's faced with a confusing problem and expresses this through not only the book title, but also several passages in the book. These passages also tie into her feelings of being separated from the world around her, as with the quote, "I invite my women readers to imagine how they themselves would feel if, successfully disguised as a young man, they had been admitted to this close and idiosyncratic male society in their late teens. For this is how I conceived my condition." That's on page 31. I know that the quote is kind of long, but it tells so much about her situation that I couldn't cut out any part of it. Since Morris has always considered herself to be a woman in a man's body, it makes sense that this situation that she's in with the army would be confusing to her and also intrigue her. Situations that she's put in, where she is supposed to be a man or supposed to act like a man, those all tie back into her feeling separated from these situations and feeling confused about what she should do, what she should act like. One of those situations with the army, where you look at the other people around you and you question whether or not you should be doing as they're doing, but can't actually figure out how to do what they are doing. And Morris is that person in this situation. She feels set apart from the 9th Lancers because of their maleness and because of her own conundrum, because she feels like she's wearing a mask. The argument here is that she's trying to make her situation not be viewed in a negative light, that questioning who you are and questioning your sense of identity and questioning, what you should be or what you should act like is an argument that questioning who you are is not wrong and should not be taken into a negative light. We all are, at least I have at some point in my own life, have questioned who I am, what I believe, my ideals, everything like that. And I think that Morris here is trying to also say this, trying to say that, like with the title of the book and with her, with that quote that I just quoted, that none of questioning your identity should be wrong.